Breaking news, Manchester United have stripped Harry Maguire of the captaincy. What's going on, people? Welcome back to Real Red Talk, the authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. And there's been some breaking news as discussed. Harry Maguire has been stripped of the captain's armband for Manchester United. And if you cast your minds back to January 2020, Maguire gets made captain after Ashley Young joins Inter Milan. Since then, he's made some crucial mistakes and big moments. Hasn't set, an example with his authority or with his performances on the pitch. He was a captain during our worst periods in Premier League history, and I don't think that's a coincidence. It was a blend of a captain and a manager out of the depth, ultimately, and this is absolutely the right decision. We were just discussing off camera, saying Ten Hag is absolutely ruthless. I mean, the De Gea situation, the captain's armband, Ronaldo, some of the youth players he's let go. He's doing what needs to be done. He's being ruthless. Everybody said they wanted a cutthroat manager. Well, here he is. Fuck me. I'm going to read out the Maguire quote, and then I'll get the lads' thoughts on it. So this is what he's just posted to Twitter, basically, and saying, after discussions with the manager today, he has informed me he is changing captain. He has outlined his reasons to me. You shit. No, I'm joking. He's outlined his reasons to me, and whilst I'm personally extremely disappointed, I will continue to give my all every time I wear the shirt. So I wanted to say a massive thank you to the Manchester United fans for all their brilliant support whilst I've been wearing the armband. Today I took on this role 3.5 years ago. It's been a huge privilege to lead Manchester United and one of the proudest moments of my career to date. It's one of the greatest honours in club football. I've done everything I possibly could to help United be successful on and off the field. I will always be grateful to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for giving me the first responsibility, and I wish whoever takes it now every success, and they will have my full support. Harry. Dan, first and foremost, correct decision, yes?
Yeah, always. I would like, whenever it comes to, because this has been going for long, and we know that Maguire won't be part of the team in the coming season, in the first team.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely we need a captain who is on the pitch, and Maguire was not even on half of the games in last season, and in the coming season also we know that he won't be part of the team as often as he used to be 2 years back. So, but as it comes to the Maguire's captaincy, now we have so many contenders for the captaincy role. Though we didn't had that many options 3 years back when he was the captain, but now we have so many options. So I think this is the best decision, and also in the best time. And we need to appreciate Ten Hag for this because when Bruno was made captain in the mid-season last year, then he didn't strip Maguire of the captaincy role at that time because it could have created more confusion or more havoc in the team. But now he has dealt it very well, saying last year that whenever you are on the pitch, you will be the captain, but when you are off the pitch, then Bruno Fernandes will be the captain. So he dealt that situation very well, but now it's a very right time for him to take this decision to strip Maguire off because he won't be part of the team in the coming season as much as he used.
Absolutely, Dan. Spot on there, mate. We've got more and more people joining the chat. Get your thoughts in on this Maguire situation. Try not to be too fucking overboard with it because I know what the chat can be like sometimes. Especially if Aaron's in it as well, which I'm sure he is. But where does he... It's funny, Sam, I was doing a video today. I was doing a couple of clips for Instagram and YouTube and stuff. And one of them was top 5 captains at Manchester United. Where does Harry Maguire rank on your list for that?
6th.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, apparently so. Yeah. It was, to be honest, it was I'll cover for Sam because his audio's gone. It was a big mistake in the first place. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer giving it him within like such a quick time frame. You had, like I said, a manager who was out of his depth.
Nick, they can't hear you now either. Just 1 second. Let me go back to the pause screen and then we'll restart this. Just give us 2 secs.
Yeah.
1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah.
1 2.
Everybody in the chat, could you let me know if you can hear? The levels are showing, so let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear Nick and Dan. So Nick, just keep talking, and then we'll just.
I was making an absolutely fantastic point there. Harry Maguire has been part of this kind of conventional wheel or roller coaster, whatever you want to call it. Where we've always been talking about Paul Pogba, and we've always been talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, and we're always talking about the David De Gea situation. And the armband has been a sticking point for so long that many people keep referring back to saying, well, why is he still this? This is having an effect on the rest of the team. You know, even like going back to the Carabao Cup where he was lifting the trophy and everyone's kind of like, is that right for him to lift the trophy? Because he's not even played a part in it. And then you kind of look at it and it's like when you're trying to set your best mate up on his birthday to score a tap-in. Like, yeah, you hold that, Harry. We'll celebrate this together, where everybody knows deep down he wasn't that guy. He just was never that guy. So it was a big mistake all the good Solskjaer giving it him in the first place. Absolutely. Are we good? Are we now, chat?
The levels are showing. I asked the chat, but nobody's answered. I've put it in as a question. So, chat, you could let me know.
All good.
Saying all good. Okay, great.
Cool.
Apologies.
Right.
Apologies on that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you can't hear anybody else, or if you've missed, well, could you hear us when we read the quote out?
Should we just read the quote out and then?
Yeah, I'll reread the quote in case you guys couldn't hear me. So the Maguire quote is after obviously announcing that he's not going to be the captain anymore. Is after discussions with the manager today, he has informed me he is changing captain. He's outlined his reasons to me, and whilst I'm personally extremely disappointed, I will continue to give my all every time I wear the shirt. So I wanted to say a massive thank you to the Manchester United fans for all their brilliant support whilst I've been wearing the armband since the day I took this role 3.5 years ago. It's been a huge privilege to lead Manchester United and one of the proudest moments of my career to date. It's one of the greatest honours in club football. I've done everything I possibly could to help United be successful on and off the field. I will always be grateful to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for first giving me the responsibility, and I wish whoever takes it now every success, and they will have my full support. Again, I don't know if we're kind of repeating points here, and none of you guys have heard it, but there's obviously new people joining as well. Dan, correct decision, yes?
Yeah, exactly. Because this is the right time for us to for Ten Hag to take this decision, because he won't be part of the season next season as he used to be 2 years back. But now we have to move on from him. Definitely, there have been rumors that Ten Hag wants to sell him, even though he's unwilling to go. But still, Ten Hag wants him to be sold. But now we have so many leaders in the team, in the likes of Casemiro. Luke Shaw has also developed himself as a leader as well in the team. And Casemiro also already mentioned. Eriksen is there. Then Bruno is there to be the first contender for that captaincy role. And now Varane is also there. Martinez is there. So we have like 5 to 6 members who like good contenders to be a captain. And now then Maguire is, I think, down the pecking order of that captaincy role. And the first and the foremost that he won't be the part of the first line starting lineup. So then why you want to keep a player as a captain who isn't going to be in your starting 11 for most of the games? So definitely the best option, and also the right decision plus the right time to take this decision, because I really appreciate Ten Hag, because in last season when he gave the captaincy role to Bruno Fernandes, whenever Maguire is out the pitch, he dealt that situation very well, and he said to Maguire that whenever you are on the pitch, you will be the captain, but when you are on the bench, then Bruno will be the captain. So that's and I'm happy that he didn't strip him off in the mid-season, because that would have created so much of mess in the team. But then he has dealt it very well. But now it's the right time to go and strip the armband from Maguire.
Yeah, we're going to discuss who we want and who you guys will potentially want as the next captain and who's the favourite. We'll definitely touch on that. But Sam, first and foremost, it was a massive mistake. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer giving it him so quick in the first place, wasn't it?
Yeah, like we were lacking for leaders back at that point, if you remember. Like the sort of longest serving guy is David De Gea, and I all respect to De Gea, he's not the commanding type. He never used to command his box. He wouldn't order his defence about, and he just wasn't that vocal type of guy. He was quite a reserved guy, so it's just like it didn't make sense for him to be captain. The other people, Rashford, too young, and like people like that. And then obviously when Ronnie came in, it was just like, well, it has to be Ronaldo, like you'd think. But then all that sort of stuff happened. So yeah, we were lacking leaders, and that's been a problem for Manchester United since Fergie left. We haven't bought in people who are like leaders who give everything for the club, for the badge, and want to fight. Now with like Ten Hag's coming, we've got a bunch of them. Like we'll get into who we want and stuff like that, but there's a bunch of leaders on that pitch that you can pick as captaincy. So having Maguire as captain just doesn't make sense anymore, especially not only because he's not playing, he's fifth choice centre back, and also because the other options for leaders are so much better. So it's the right choice. And we said off camera that Ten Hag's absolutely ruthless. He's dealt with the Ronaldo situation. He's dealt with the Maguire situation. He's dealt with David De Gea. Everything we wanted to sort out, he's fucking done it. Yep. And it's taken him a season, but he's clearing out all this dead wood. He's clearing out the people that need to go. He's changing things up. And if that doesn't give you all these people saying Ten Hag disrespected Ronaldo and disrespected all this dude is changing this club for the better. And if you don't get behind him, then you're not a United fan. Go support Ronaldo in Saudi Arabia, because this manager's changing things, and this is yet another example of it.
Yeah, and I think in general, when you just think about a captain, right, you think about, excuse me, you think about they not always have to be the best player on the pitch, but they at least have to be the most consistent player on the pitch. Like Gary Neville was a great captain. He was never the best player by a long stretch, but he would put in 7 out of 10 every single game. He would demand everything from every player. And when you just look at another throwback kind of captain, and probably our greatest captain ever was Roy Keane. You look at the trophies that he's won, of course, and the player that he was, fantastic player, but then the standards that he set in that dressing room. You can't go into a dressing room. I've said this before. If you're a manager at, I don't know, a restaurant or something, right, and you're putting in paninis in the grill and you're doing this and it's being burnt all the time, and you're saying, you should do it like this, and you should, no one's going to fucking listen to you because you're not doing it properly. So when he's putting in performances and he's putting in massive mistakes and he's screaming to everyone saying, come on, lads, we can do this, the players are probably looking at him, they're going, you're the one who's made the mistakes, mate. Like, you can't lead us because you're the one who's, do you know what I mean? Like, putting us in there in the first place. It just doesn't make sense.
Do you know what it is? When we've played teams that there's a bit of needle between us, like a Liverpool or something like that, and it's kicked off, Maguire's on the other end of the pit. He walks away from it, and he doesn't get into it. Like, he's just like, mate, I know it's not really part of the game anymore, but like, have something about you. I'm proud of that. Get fucking involved. Like, as much as I hate Liverpool, and I hate Jordan Henderson, I think he's overrated. As a captain, he gets fucking involved. Like, if something's kicking off one of his players, he gets involved. Like, that's how it should be. And it's just, it's disappointing to have that guy representing you. And it's not that he's a shit player and he's horrible and I don't think he should ever play football. I just don't think he's at United standard, and he definitely should have been captain, like, ever for United. So
never. Especially when you look at the list of fucking Brian Robson, Eric Cantona. Do you know what I mean? Like, look, Rio Ferdinand, Gary Neville, Harry Maguire. Like,
on your point of not being the best player and being captain, Nemanja Vidic was captain for Manchester United. Now, arguably, between Rio and Vidic, Rio was the better player, technically on the ball and stuff like that.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think.
Yeah, Rio was the better centre back. Not that Vidic was shit. Like, Vidic was like absolute quality. But Rio was the better centre-back. But because of the leadership and the grit and the determination and the absolute fire that Vidic had, it made more sense for him to be captain. Because he had that leadership and that behaviour over Rio, even though Rio was technically the better centre-back. And that's what you need to do for this team. Yeah, does Bruno whinge and moan? Does he like kick off about stuff? Absolutely. But it's because he wants to win. He wants to win every fucking thing, every throw-in, every free kick. He wants it to go his way, and he'll like bitch and complain about it. That's the example of a leader, or one type of leader. Like, there's other people. I've got Paul in the chat, so we'll look at that towards the end of the show and see what people voted for. But
and we'll dive into the comments very, very shortly. Just want to ask you, Dan, what happens now? Do you think after this he stays and still fights for his place? Is it going to be the same with him, like in terms of like mentally? It's got to affect you in some shape or way, right?
Yeah, he has also mentioned that even though he is disappointed personally, but He still wants to prove himself, but then again, he needs to understand again and again that he is down the line, like on the fifth
Mm.
in the starting position. If you see, you have Martinez, Varane, and then Lindelof is there, and even Luke Shaw is above him in the picking order for the centre back role, and he has to understand. And if he wants, I appreciate that he has that fighting spirit to come back into the team, but then again, you have to climb three positions up in that order to become a regular starter. I understand he will be involved maybe in the squad rotational because there's going to be with Champions League also coming in. You need players, many players for that one position itself. But then again, if he wants to play on a regular basis, then definitely he has to go elsewhere. West Ham could be the best option for him because
Yeah.
you mean I mean Leicester was his level. I mean the mid-table teams are his level, and for the teams like United, I know that he has been in some seasons. He alongside Lindelof has created some records with the with less number of losses and more number of clean sheets. But at this moment, you have these type of players in Martinez and Varane, and then you definitely you cannot cross them. To be honest, I don't think that this can happen where you see a place where Maguire can bench Varane or Martinez. So to be honest, I don't consider anyone's fault in this when Maguire was a captain because when he came into the team and when he was made captain, at that time there wasn't any other player whom you can look out to and say that he is the captain. Even though there were players who were capable enough of playing as a captain, but
Yeah.
they were not a regular starter at that moment. So that's where,
Mm.
and also his price tag says it so that he was supposed to be the captain. But then Bruno Fernandes came in, and when he came in, he was not a captain material, but now he is a captain material. But at that time, there wasn't anyone else whom Oli could have gone with to be a captain. But now it's the right time to look out for a change.
Yeah. I think it might go down as one of the worst Premier League signings as well for that amount of price, like £80 million, most expensive ever for a centre back. Is it most? I think isn't it most expensive ever for a centre back?
I think so.
Which is crazy when you think about it. But yeah, let's see what everybody else is thinking. Let's get into the comments, just as important. So
I just seen on Sky Sports, Harry Maguire is now considering all options after being stripped of Manchester United captaincy. That's from Sky Sports. So that might be the push out the door. Like that might be the final straw, but we will see.
I think realistically, West Ham would be the best option because they have the money to buy Maguire.
Yeah,
they've also got the style that kind of suits them as well. To be honest, like
I said on a show the other day, like 100 million, they could have Scott McTominay and Maguire. There you go, have them both.
Yeah,
but
fingers crossed. Let's see.
Brian Casey in the chat is a real Reds ultra. Shout out to Brian. Bruno captain, Casemiro vice captain. I mean, I'll be all right with that. Hello all from Vince. Hello Vince, how are you? Just the stuff about me being muted. Why is there all these technical issues on a Sunday? I don't know, Shah. I'm sorry, mate. I apologise. Yeah. Next stop, West Ham. See you later. That's from Lewis Jackson. Hi all from Terry. How's it going, Terry? Anonymous Mango's in the chat. All the regulars are in the chat. Terry, hopefully Maguire will move on to a club that suits him. West Ham or Spurs. Yeah, I agree. Anonymous Mango. Bruno will be captain. Martinez will be vice captain. That's how I think we'll line up. Ashley Dallow, Keane is the best captain, absolutely. Bruno captain, Casemiro vice captain, or Shaw or Leacher as second vice captain. So yeah, that's what. Hold on, a couple more. I love Varane is a very good shout for vice captain. I've just seen Shaw. Shaw. The straw that broke the fridges back. Well done, very nice. RSV when with Onana deal be announced, mate. I've got no fucking clue. Honestly,
it's 99.9999999 done in a minute. Yeah, he's having his last meal with Inter Milan now, and then he's done.
He's been starving since Friday.
Yeah,
so fucking last meal. Yeah, no idea, mate. Like it could be now, it could be Tuesday. Who fucking knows at this point? Maybe these guys need to go to church and pray on Sunday so they don't get technical problems. I mean, Dan goes to church. Dan doesn't pray. Right? It's not doing anything. He's not helping us.
No, we're trying all outlets.
Yeah. Chivy, I know Bruno is a fan favourite, but I don't think he's a better lead than Casemiro. I'm also seeing a lot of Luke Shaw mentions. Have I missed something? That's from Chivy.
Oh, well, you kind of give me the perfect segue there, Chiver. Thank you very much for that. That is the big question, fellas, and that is the big question to everybody. Maybe we could put a bit of a poll up. I don't know if we put a poll up for it already?
Yeah,
already have. Never mind. Well, we'll go back to that. We'll revisit that very shortly. But I know a couple of you already have, but get who you want as the next Manchester United captain in, and I will go to Dan first. Who do you want as captain, Dan? Give me your reasons why, and then give me vice captains and reasons why as well.
To be honest, I may be criticized for saying this, but I have never been a fan of Bruno Fernandes being a captain. Because if I consider all his career, 3 years, I know that last year being a captain, he performed really well. But I believe that when he is not a captain, then he can give us more on the pitch. Since now, definitely whosoever will be the captain, I think it will not make that much difference, because we all have a fighters in the team, all like 5 to 6 players who are capable enough of being a captain, and they don't need a captain actually, because they have been playing in the top leagues, top competitions, and have won a lot. But personally, I would give it to Casemiro. Not because of that thing, but
you're giving it to yourself, Dan. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You're going to give the captaincy to yourself.
I'd give it Casemiro.
Because he's on the middle of the pitch, and he's like a fighter, and I see him dropping off at moments, like dropping his head off in some games at some times, and I think that when he is a captain, that portion will be solved in his maybe only the problem with him being captain could be the language, but I'm not sure that how much that will affect
he's learning English, isn't he? He's learning English at the minute, so
yeah. But for the vice captain role, I think someone from centre back, I would prefer maybe Varane or Martinez.
Interesting. Sam, the floor is yours, mate. Who do you want to be the next United captain?
I think Bruno is going to be the captain. I think that's how it's going to go. Like, I wouldn't personally pick him, but I think that's who's going to get it. I personally would probably go with Lisandro Martinez. I think he has everything that you expect. Not just, I know he's my favourite player, so I'm a little bit biased, but I think he has everything. You saw the first sort of games at home, and then when we beat Liverpool, he was punching the fucking ground with the victory, grabbing the shirt. There was a celebration at Chelsea where he jumped in the crowd head first. Like, the guy gets it. The guy gets the club. He gets the fight, the mentality. He's got a bit of a hard streak in him. You saw him body Salah like in the game and stuff. He's got that bit between his teeth. I think he has those qualities. I would happily have him and Varane maybe vice captain, or Casemiro as vice captain. That I'd be happy with that. But I think Bruno gets it. I think Bruno gets the captaincy, and then Varane would probably get the vice captaincy. I think that's how it goes. But for me personally, I would go with Lisandro. Who would you go with, Nick?
Oh, it's interesting. I to be honest, I think I think Bruno will definitely get it, 100%. Who will get vice captain? I don't know, maybe Varane, potentially. I think, and I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because I said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer give Harry Maguire the captain's armband too early, but I look at Lisandro Martinez and he embodies everything that a captain is about. Everything. Yeah. The consistency. I've literally watched a guy had one bad performance in his debut season, really. 1 or 2 to a stretch in his debut season. He's 7, 8 out of 10 every single game. Anytime we did the ratings after a match, Lisandro would always be right up there with him.
I think we gave him man of the match at least about 8 times, I think.
A lot of times, yeah. A lot of times. He's 25 years old, so we've still got at least another God knows how long at the club.
10 years.
Eric Ten Hag knows him down to a T. He's the one who brought him over to Ajax, so he knows what he's capable of. He's clearly great with players. Like he was here at pre-season a week before everybody else, meeting Mason Mount, saying hello to his family and little things like that people don't pick up on. That's what makes a captain. Everything, and not even just that. He's got that hard bastard about him as well. Do you know what I mean? Where he's got that aggressive side where he will stand up and fight for his players, and it's like your Vidic's, even like your Cantona's. So for me, he'd be the ideal candidate. I think if he had already been here for a couple of years, I think most people would be pushing for him over Bruno Fernandes, to be honest with you. But he would be my choice, absolutely. And then if you want to vice captain Bruno, then do that. But I think Bruno Fernandes would maybe be affected by that slightly. If you said, Lisandro's going to be the captain, Bruno, you're going to be vice captain, and he'd be like, well, I've been here First, I've been here longer. I've made a massive impact.
I was captain last season.
year.
Yeah. I think Bruno gets
it's weird. Yeah, it's a weird dynamic.
It all comes down to man management also, because now you see that Martinez, Casemiro, and Varane, they were like 1 year old in the club, and now you have Bruno Fernandes, who is the top contender, and then you shift your options to any other player who is just 1 year old in the club, then definitely it's going to bring a split in the team, to be honest. But now I think with anyone can be the captain, but actually this team, half of the team doesn't need a captain, to be honest, because they are themselves the warriors of the team. So maybe the attackers may need some guidance or the little push that maybe the senior players can definitely provide. I mean, senior by seniority, I mean the number of years they have been playing football. So yeah, definitely anyone is a captain, will not make much difference. But at this moment, just for that man management part, I think Bruno would be the best option. But personally, I have said my opinion. But as per the man management part, I think Bruno should be the captain.
I think also Bruno's consistency in terms of like he played the most minutes in Europe.
Never injured
last season.
He's never injured.
Never ever injured. Plays every single game. Not even like he drops off in. Maybe that could be a question to throw out there in the big games. Sometimes he doesn't show up, like that could be something that's thrown out there for people who do want Bruno Fernandes. But I take your points. I'm just going to read out a couple of stats on Harry Maguire, and then we'll dive into the comments. So, since Harry Maguire joined, Man United had the lowest points total in the Premier League era. United's longest run without a clean sheet at Old Trafford in the club's history. United's joint biggest home defeat in 145 years. United's longest run without a clean sheet in 48 years. United's worst start to a season in 30 years, and that was 19-20. And then United's worst start to a season in 48 years, 20-21. Most goals conceded at home in a Premier League season, 20-21. Most home losses in a single season, since 2013. That's 20-21.
To be fair to him, not all of those are his fault.
No, of course not. I take that on point.
He is culpable as a group, because that whole team the past couple of years have been fucking shocking. All of them.
Yeah.
Like De Gea was shocking. He was shocking. Shaw, when he played next to him, was fucking shocking. Wan-Bissaka had a bad time. Like Lindelof looks shit. Now, like when he's not playing with Maguire, Lindelof looks excellent. Everybody in that back line was fucking shite under like Ollie and previously. So it's not all his fault. He is a part of it, but it's not entirely his fault.
But I'm sure you guys remember the video I did on Maguire's individual mistakes that season when 17.
They're his fault.
Yeah. 17 individual mistakes from a captain, like that is unheard of. That shit just can't happen if he's to be successful. And that was something we literally ironed out for years. I feel like I've been here for about 10 years, let alone 3.5. So mental. Should we read out some comments?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look. RSV, I don't want to miss out on Amrabat, especially to Liverpool. I think Amrabat's on the back burner until we get a striker, or we sell some midfielders. I don't think we go in for him until we get some sales. Shahsam, Casemiro captain, Bruno and Varane vice captain. Vince Bullock, Bruno speak excellent English. His daughter's teaching him English. I think Bruno already spoke excellent English, didn't he?
It's fantastic English, yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Aaron Gregory, I think Bruno did enough to earn the armband last season. Martial, vice captain. Unbelievable! Vice captain who's never in the fucking squad because he's injured.
Yeah.
Ashley Dallo, Onana deal will be announced in the next 24 hours. It's 99.9% done. It was delayed because Inter were concentrating on Lukaku deal. Onana will be in the squad for the US preseason games. Absolutely, I think so. Vince Bullock, can't believe, Sam, you stabbed your favourite player in the back, Tom Heaton. Shrindi, news on a takeover. No, it's been dead for about 5-6 weeks. I've not heard shit. Nobody's heard anything, unfortunately.
No.
Ashley Dallo saying, Shrindi, which takeover? Glazers are staying. I said it since the start. Nick is starting to feel the same way. Ashley Dallo, I remember Harry Maguire being the subject of a Ghanaian parliament. That's how far he's going. What the fuck happened there?
Yeah, I saw that.
Why was he in Ghanaian Parliament?
I don't know how it happened. I saw like 5 seconds of the clip and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? No idea.
Aaron Gregory, Jane questions Maguire the worst captain we've had in the Premier League era. I struggle to think of a worse one. I can't think of anybody worse.
Well, it depends, like, who's been a long-term captain or players who've wore the armband.
Yeah,
That's
I think
isn't it?
long-term captain. I think it
Yeah.
has to be, doesn't he? Like, I can't think
Yeah.
of many worse.
Mm.
You need to doctor the stats on Maguire. We need to sell him. He was great. Okay, good, not bad. Yeah, if you want to sell him, he's a great player.
Yeah.
RSV, Bruno needs to step up in the big games. I don't want to see another type of his attitude at Anfield ever again or similar stadium. I mean, the whole team just fucking capitulated at Anfield, mate. Like, it wasn't just him. If we get 50 million for him, that's genius business from Lewis Jackson. I don't think we get 50 million for him. Like, I really don't. Jay McGrogan, evening, gents. Yeah, evening to you, Jay. Let's have a look at the poll, shall we? We've got 56 votes. Who should get the captaincy? 80% Bruno, 60% for Casemiro, 4% for Leacher, and then I put Shaw on there just as like a wild card option, and nobody's voted for Shaw, so it's pretty much all Bruno. There you go.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. I mean, he's going to get it in it. Like, you're already starting to see like murmurs and reports now, and that's I'm fine with it. I wouldn't go against it if I did hear that. That's absolutely fine. But I think the Sandro should definitely be in the conversation. But I just think that having that settled nature about you going into next season and everybody knowing everybody's roles and there's a certain pecking order, and you know what I mean, like, that's fine. Because when you put Maguire at the top of the pecking order, and then you've got other really like well-performing players, and they're kind of looking up and going like, 200 grand a week, £8 million like captain, like, what's going on here, mate? Like, it's just very, very confusing for people. So I'm happy, absolutely ecstatic with the news. And it's weird because we were seeing off camera, Simon Stone put a quote out this morning, right? So he put, Harry Maguire is mindful of needing to play regular. However, he is known to be happy at United and is proud of his status as captain. He feels he'll play a full part in United's season after overcoming a number of injury issues last term. So obviously the scales have completely flipped on that situation at the minute. Do we think as a collective right now, if we was to guess, if you will Harry Maguire go now after this, do you think?
I don't think he goes. Like, somebody's going to have to pay his... somebody's going to have to pay his wages. Who's paying his wages? What is he on, 290 a week?
No, 200 a week.
200, that's still a lot, man. It's a big
Oh,
wage. Yeah. Who's going to pay that? Like, nobody's paying. West Ham ain't paying that. Like,
it'd have to take a pay cut, wouldn't it? But do you still think he can do a job for another team?
Yeah, definitely for a mid-table team, or maybe those teams who, whose formation contains that back.
Italy.
Yeah, but
he would. Smalling did a great job for Roma.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So the players like Matic, who were like slow in, who were slow in moving the ball. So those players can do really great job in Italy. We have seen that those players who have gone from United to Italy has done a great job. But at this point, I think for a mid-table Premier League team, he can still do a good job because he has that ability, but it's just the space. But when you go to that mid-table teams and those teams, they have a lot of hard-working players who run around a lot. So those players can cover up Maguire's lack of pace. So he can definitely be a good player in that mid-table role. But then again, it's come down to the salary of Maguire. I think he's earning more than 180k.
Yeah,
it's gone up now. He got a pay increase, didn't he? Because they qualified for the Champions League. So
yeah.
So I don't think any team can pay that. Maybe Saudi somewhere.
Fucking praying, mate. Put your stall out. I did that clip, didn't I? Put your stall out. In Saudi Arabia, you've got Donny van de Beek, Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay, Fred, fucking Alex Telles. Put them all at the front with shiny sale signs and say, anybody, Al Hilal, anyone, please.
We'll do 2 for 1. We'll do whatever you like, 3 for 2, whatever you want. Like, we'll do a deal.
Yeah.
Just whatever you want.
Proper retail price, RRP, whatever it's called. In all seriousness, I know we joke about it, and we know the level has just not been good enough. Do you still think there's a player in there?
Yeah.
Who like, if he was a manager, like Dan saying there, mid-table side or whatever, could you look at him and be like, maybe he could be a leader for us? Maybe, you know?
It depends on the system, doesn't it? Like, if you play in a deep lying back, like mid defenders, and you play the back 4 and you drop our back 5 or 3 centre backs or a wing backs, and you're playing deep, he's absolutely that's the system that plays to his strengths. Getting his head on the ball, clearing stuff, getting hold of it, passing out to the midfield, and not having to like get up and down like, say, City do, or like Ten Hag wants to do with his, or where he has to sort of quick passing or has to have the mobility to turn quickly. If he's just sitting back and just clearing his lines, getting hold of it, bullying defenders, he'd be great in that sort of team or that sort of setup. Like you said, a West Ham, a Fulham, those kind of teams, he'd be great in that. But he can't play the level of football or the style of football that Ten Hag wants to play and that top teams want to play. So the likes of City, the likes of us, Liverpool, etc. Like, even you see Van Dijk's getting done like recently because he's like, after his injury, he's come like he's lost some of his pace, he's lost some of his mobility, and he got turned quite a few times last season, and that's why Liverpool conceded so many goals, because normally Van Dijk would just shut it down, but he got turned so many times, and you have to be a mobile, quick centre back in the modern league, and that isn't Harry Maguire. So if you play in a system to his strengths, I think you could have a decent defender and he'd look great, like he did at Leicester. He looked great at Leicester. Yeah. In England, he looks great in England because they play to his strengths. Gareth Southgate is that type of manager. So I think if we go and play to the strengths, you get a good play out of him. He's exposed at United system. He's just totally exposed. Yeah. So he looks worse than he is. Like, that's the issue.
Yeah. We've got 31 people in the chat. Please leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new around these parts. Harry Maguire has been stripped of the captaincy at Manchester United, in case you have missed it. Where does he rank amongst signings for you, Dan, for Manchester United? Think of all the signings that we've done. In terms of the worst signings we've ever made, where does he rank?
Definitely somewhere around the bottom 10% of the order. If you see if you see the percentage wise, so I think somewhere around 10%, because you've seen that the amount we have paid has hit us back, even though we have paid for a player, but definitely he has not yet performed to the level of at least 30 million as a 30 million price tag player. So that has hit us hard, and we have been, I mean, the price tag itself just shows that this has been the poorest signing for us.
You think it's the worst one ever? Here's a question. Whilst you're thinking, to the chat as well, name a worse signing than Harry Maguire. Go.
Taibbi.
Yeah, but like, how much should we pay for Taibbi?
I can't remember.
Do you know what I mean? In terms of expectation met.
Honest to God, he was fucking abysmal.
Yeah, but I bet we probably bought him for like fucking 200 grand or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, you buy Maguire for £80 million. Is he a worse signing than him?
For that price point, are you talking like a high price point? Are you talking about?
Yeah, Aaron's put Di Maria's up there as well. Di Maria's up there, but Di Maria is still a quality player.
He did
still a quality player.
Di Maria, if Di Maria was 3.5 years of the shit that he pulled, then yeah, I think Jamie McGrogan's saying Pogba. Yeah, Sanchez, Alexis Sanchez.
Sanchez is in the conversation.
I think Sanchez is the worst one. He was terrible. Yeah, fucking abysmal.
Because I think when Maguire's first game in Chelsea won it down, when he looked actually all right. That was thinking, it's not bad, you know. We won 4-0, didn't we? He was like, everything's going to be rosy, and and we're going to skip through to the Premier League title, and and then he got exposed so much. Like, anyone just press the lad, and you get like a squeak out of him. Do you know what I mean? It's
Lewis is saying Vegas, but he was a loan signing, so I'm not gonna count.
Yeah, if we would have bought Vegas for like 20 mil, then you'd be like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the price tag plays an important role in deciding whether he's the worst player, but 80 million, it's too much for a player of Maguire. But
yeah,
I don't blame him to that extent, because when we bought him, he was one of the best players for Leicester City, and then he came to our team, and then he just was totally opposite. And for 1 or 2 seasons, he also performed when we were going through this Corona phase. He alongside Lindelof, we had so many clean sheets. But definitely, we know that his weaknesses are there. That he's not that tenacious, which has cost him a lot of goals. Cost us a lot of goals. But if you consider this through the price tag perspective, I think this could be the worst signing we had.
Yeah, you know what? As well, I was just thinking, who else would have thrown up there? Just literally had it in my head, then it's just fucking gone. Oh, that was a good one as well. Where's it gone? I was just thinking that, that was one of the... No. Veron didn't work out, did it? Didn't materialise.
To be fair, Veron was meant like in Italian.
Oh yeah,
league. He was fucking unreal. I was like so excited about him, and it just
didn't live up at United. That was the only thing. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but look, I hope from like a human perspective, you know, you've seen everything that's gone on in Greece. He probably gets. I think we did a show, didn't we, about who gets the most abuse online, and I think Maguire and Ronaldo was like right at the top. Which is just strange because complete opposite ends himself in terms of talent. But he obviously gets a lot of abuse online, and he's probably had a hard time dealing with all this. He's probably gutted to lose the captaincy, all in all. So you have to see it like that, don't you, Sam? Like you have to feel a little bit sympathetic in that regard, but we still appreciate at the same time that it has to happen.
Yeah, Jay. Like we spoke to Jay Motti, and Jay was saying like they have a rule: they don't criticize like youth players because you find your way. Like you find out you're going to make mistakes. I think with players, there's a line. You draw a line. You criticize their on-pitch performances if it's a bad performance, but nothing beyond that. You can't go and criticize them in their personal lives, abusing them online for they have a bad game and stuff. Like talk about the game. Yeah, he had a shit performance. He should have done this or he should have done that. That's absolutely fine, and that's your entitlement as a fan. But to abuse the guy on social media or to have a go at his appearance or like, do you know what I mean? Or make fun of stuff. There's no need for that. Like, because the guy's a human being. Like we've seen with the Dele Alli thing recently. Like these people have these issues, like real world issues that me, you, and all us have. Like that's a factor. He might be going through things that we don't know about, and it's unfair to criticize his personal life and stuff. If it's on the pitch, he's not performing, then. That's fair enough. But yeah, I hope he moves. I hope he now realizes, okay, I am not going to get into this team. I'm no longer captain. I'm fifth choice centre back, but I want to play football because it's going to start affecting. I know he's very proud to play for England, and if he's still not getting picked next season, Gareth Southgate can't carry on picking him. Like he can't. Yeah. Like it's just going to become untenable. There's Euros next season. You can't take a centre back to Euros who's not playing football. Like it's not going to work. So I hope he realises that, okay, I'm fifth choice, I'm not the captain, maybe I need to move here to play week in, week out. And if he went to West Ham, he'd play week in, week out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and I hope that's what he realises now. He thinks, okay, I need to go somewhere.
Dan. He felt like he was going to fucking throw it then. You know what, I've had enough of this fucking audio shit. Fuck off.
Let's
Go
see.
on.
Is he back?
Ooh. No,
nothing.
Not audible.
Can you hear
we'll
me?
go.
Hey,
yes.
There you
go on.
Okay. Yeah. So the thing is, what I was saying, totally forgot.
We can read out some comments. Come back to you.
All the build up, Dan, and then you just forgot what you were going to say.
That's the biggest cliffhanger ever.
Check my headphone. I think I can't hear you. Yeah. Now I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll read out some comments. I'll read out comments, and then you have a think about what you wanted to say. Let's have a look. Harry McGregor, surely this got the end of Maguire. Can't be dropped to strip to the space of the season and stick around. Shah Sam saying he's not going anywhere. Hashi Dallo saying he won't go. He doesn't have self-respect. Terry saying go. Hopefully we'll give him part wages. We shouldn't have to do that though, man. Like, why are we paying his fucking wages to leave? Like, that's just
a Woodward, mate. That's
ridiculous. Remember, Gareth Southgate saying Maguire is their best defender. Man United having their squad, but he's ahead of Leach and Varane. This is why England won't win anything under Southgate. Yeah, I have issues with Southgate, so we won't get into that. England played defensive football. That's what suits Maguire. Yeah, that was my point. You got to know when you overstay your welcome. This is time to move on from Aaron Gregory. Lewis Jackson, I don't believe he's a centre-back by trade. What do you think he is then?
He's a fucking plumber by trade.
Shrey has 2,801 subscribers. Way 200. Absolutely mental.
Subscribe if you haven't already, please.
For Maguire to be effective, he has to have 3 centre-backs and 2 holders. It makes the team less effective. Absolutely. Jamie McGregor saying Kleberson, worst signings, continues to get worse as well. Di Maria, Sanchez, Pogba, Andy Gordon. Fucking hell, that is a throwback from Ashley Dalla there. Vegos, Sanchez, Depay from RSV. Lukaku, second time at Chelsea. That was 100 million. That didn't work out well, did it, for Chelsea?
Yeah, it's a bad one.
Andy Carroll, Liverpool, 50 million. Yeah, that didn't work either. Once they hit 25, the criticism becomes ruthless in the media from Jay McGrogan. Emmanuel Bassini, Casemiro, if you need to make a good team. I think he's speaking about the captaincy.
Good shout.
Yeah. Jay McGrogan, when the left back gets played at centre back ahead of him, it would be a huge red flag. Absolutely. Yeah, that's got to be. And then this captaincy is just the nail in the coffin, isn't it, really? How many more years on Maguire's contract? Do we know?
2025.
So 2 years.
So I think it's got 2 years, yeah. Or a year and a half, what you want to call it.
Yeah. Avi was for 40 million, 10 was to pay off so we could upgrade players. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the comments in a minute.
I think that'd be the biggest sale out of a lot of them if we can move on Harry Maguire respectfully, sell him to wherever we can. West Ham, you're taking your 40 million and you add that to your transfer thing for a strike or whatever. That's the main thing to do now. I'm happy the captaincy's been taken off him. I know centre back isn't a priority on the list anymore, so maybe I was speaking with Shreyas this morning, saying maybe you can spend it in other areas and go get that Amrabat or go get that Harry Kane when you add it to that. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I think in general, just to kind of sum things up, lads, we're happy that the captaincy has been taken off him. If it was given to Bruno Fernandes, we'd be happy about that situation as well, and then we've got to kind of wait on things to see how they develop. So yeah, I think we can wrap it up there, guys. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment on there as well. And if you want to become a Real Red Ultra member, we've got exclusive content dropping in the next couple of days for you guys who are already members, and it'll be a video on Suzuki, the second choice keeper, who we're taking a look at. Not a lot of people know stuff about him and what type of keeper he is, so I'm going to take a close look at that. I hope you guys will appreciate it. And yeah, if you want to become a member, click the join button next to the notification bell, or the link is in the bio, I think. I've
just put it in the chat as well, so if you want to consider, it's £3 a month, less than a meal deal, and you get some quality content. You get I've made some new emojis, by the way. I have made some.
Yes.
Let me put them in. So we've got the Adam emoji there. Let's put that in. There's a little Adam emoji, and then Nick's favorite
one.
Do you want to play it? Go on.
Oh yeah, 1 second. Let me get the little soundboard up. 1, 2, 3, and there we go. Capybara.
Capybara, 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 capybara.
Capybara. Everybody's favourite capybara.
Yeah. So you got capybara emoji as well. So yeah, there's your 2 new emojis along with the Nick one. So I think I can make 2 more. So I'm gonna make 2 more as well. So but yeah, feel free to use them, and you get a little badge next to your name in a Real Reds Ultra. So yeah.
We're trying to give members as much as we possibly can, value for money, because we appreciate £4 or £5 a month, cost of living crisis, all that kind of stuff. So appreciate every single one of you who are currently members, and that the video will be dropping the next couple of days. Drop us a follow on socials as well, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter for all your latest news updates, clips from the show, and regular posts, aesthetic posts. Dan, thank you for coming on as well, sir. Appreciate you.
Yeah, happy to be back on with the good news that Maguire is stripped off the captaincy.
Yeah, not a bad show to return to, is it? Yeah. Happy days. Right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. If anything else breaks, we'll go live. We'll see what happens in the next couple of hours. You never know, United, do you? Take care. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, cheers.